High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown.
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Bauer finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie.
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go. Patomeco with the pass. Narario has a bit of a look, shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions. Energetic Media Solutions.
A 6-4 squad hosts a 5-5 squad as we hit the final 2 weeks of district action. Every game, every inning, every pitch is going to count as we head for a playoff push. The pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is coming up right after this. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to the pregame show here at Lamar High School, the home of the Vikings. Feels like just a week ago I was at this ballpark. Oh no, wait a second. I was covering the Arlington High Colts as they ended up taking both games in the home and home series against Lamar to push them to 8-2. And these Bowie Volunteers are riding high as well. They beat Arlington a couple of weeks ago at the ballpark at Bowie and swept the Haltom Buffaloes and won a weekend ball game as well to push them to a 4-game winning streak. Lamar played a weekend game this past Saturday as well and fell in that ball game. So they are currently on a 3-game skid. So one team riding high, one of them trying to regain some momentum. And there's definitely a lot of tension for both teams as they try to figure out who those 4 teams in the postseason will be. I'm Zach Arnold, and Chaz Melton's producing here at Lamar High School again, as he did a week ago, getting very familiar with how to run that extension cord underneath the grandstands here at the home of the Vikings. And joining me for his first ever ball game here at Lamar High School. I didn't even realize that was a thing until you told me. Jot Holly on the call with me tonight. Jot, there's a bunch of implications for tonight's ball game, and it's going to be a fun one to see.
First has been a big season of first for me. First game in the Crow's Nest at Grand Prairie this season. First game at South Grand Prairie this season. Now my first game at Lamar. I've been with you for 3 seasons now. Two for football, I think three for baseball. So yeah, it's a season of first. But speaking of seasons of first, this is the first time that these two teams will play each other this season, going into Friday's matchup as well. It's been a tale of 2 seasons. It started off kind of rough for the Volunteers in tournament play, and then starting district play, you had games that you needed to win in South and versus Grand Prairie and Sam Houston. You end up splitting both of those seasons to put you in this situation at 5-5. But you're playing your best baseball at the time that you really need to, because
Yep.
you're playing against a team that you have to beat to make a possible chance at the playoffs. You have to win 3 out of the next 4. If our math is correct, that starts tonight, and preferably you have to win both of these games tonight and Friday before you even look ahead to next week versus SGP.
Yeah, we're not looking anywhere past what's going to be happening tonight. We thought we could have some rain in the forecast, but the sun has started peeking out. We've got blue skies over the top of our head. So we're ready for some baseball here tonight. Covering these Lamar Vikings a week ago, we got to see the starting pitcher tonight for the Vikings in the form of uh, Quesada. And, he threw a total of 18 strikeouts against Haltom, and he was able to pitch a solid, I want to say, 5 or 6 innings in the game against Arlington a week ago. Gave up 5 runs on 11 hits and recorded 7 strikeouts. So it's not 18 strikeouts like he had against the Buffaloes, but he had a very solid outing against a top team in the district, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to have another solid outing against Bowie's Tuesday pitcher in the form of Andrew Vega. Um, Vega is a lot about placement, very much about attacking the strike zone, getting ahead in the count early, and Quesada is a strike thrower. He's got a couple of pitches, most particularly a fastball and a changeup. So it'll be an interesting contrast of styles to see placement versus strike thrower / power, and whoever has the strongest outing out the gate is going to set the tone for tonight's ball game.
And it's a good way if you're Vega, looking at your performance last week in a game versus Haltom. And this is not the same Haltom team that we saw last year and the previous year in district, where they were riding high trying to make a playoff push. It's a younger team, as we got a chance to talk to Coach Howard last week. It's a younger team with a lot of players that aren't there. But Vega still came out firing. He's had a lot of games this year where he's only given up 3 runs or less, especially the Martin game, who was against a good Martin team, and then last week versus Haltom, and he ended up getting a complete game shutout versus the Buffaloes, and his fastball was working. He gave up 4 walks, but he got 6 strikeouts, and he gave up no hits. Which that's a really important thing to do in baseball. Giving him no hits, that Vega was riding high. But behind Vega, what really helped him was he got a lot of hits from his team, and they're going to get a good pitcher tonight in Quesada. You have guys like Jackson Turner, who last Tuesday went 4 for 4 versus the Buffaloes. Last week, he got on base 3 times, all by walk. So he's seen the ball well. Guys like Uribe, he's not seen the ball as well as he started off. He started off hot to start the season. He went 1 for 4 last Tuesday. He went 1 for 4 last Thursday. So his bat's kind of cooled down, but the guys around him are slowly picking it up. Ortega had 2 home runs on Friday versus the Buffalo, so he's swinging a hot bat. And then you got guys around him like Martinez and Sanchez, who are picking up some extra slack for the 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in the lineup. So Quesada might not have a field day like he's expecting, but the Volunteers, they're coming in at the right time, swinging hot bats. The one guy in the middle, they need to swing the hot bat. It hasn't hurt them as bad that he's only gone 2 for 8 in his last 2 games, if everybody else around him is picking up the slack.
And that's been the thing that kind of hurt Bowie at the beginning of district play, was relying on your top 3 spots in the lineup and then having a little bit of confusion the rest of the way out. To have that kind of productivity top to bottom is something that a team needs when they're trying to make a playoff push. And so, like you said, maybe a couple of games that should have gone their way early in district, but playing your best baseball at the right time, playing as a team, playing as a unit, having your pitching working for you, having your entire lineups, bats working for you. It seems to be going the way Coach Johnson needs it to at the right time. But this will be one of their toughest tests because on paper, these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Statistically, record-wise, 6-4 versus 5-5. Winning some games you're supposed to win, falling in a few games you're probably trying to hope for an upset in. So anything can happen at the high school level, and we get to bring it to you here on the Zap Network. Coaches are meeting behind home plate while they exchange lineups and field information with the officials for tonight's ball game. We want to remind you that the pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. They're a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. Starting lineups are being introduced here at the home of the Vikings. Jot, we had an interesting walk into this ballpark as the usual parking lot that we try to go in and out of right off of Davis Drive is part of the renovation that's taking place here at Cravens Field. And so our access was actually from the back on the other side of campus and had to kind of walk our way in. But it's it's still a good night for baseball, whether we had to take an extra hike or not.
It's a good night for baseball. Yeah, we got the steps in coming in from the basically from the practice field on the other side. So
From the staff lot, it
from the
looked like.
staff line, yeah, we were basically walking from the neighborhood next door. As long as we're not crossing the bridge over here on Davis Boulevard, like I see people doing now.
Goodness.
As long as that's not us, we're in a good spot. Crowd slowly coming in. More of a high school baseball feel. You know, about 20 minutes ago, there was nobody here. It felt like a ghost town. It felt more like a freshman game than a varsity game, especially between two teams that are trying to make the playoffs. And it's two teams, like you said, that are going different directions. The Volunteers have won 4 straight. The Vikings have lost 3 straight. The Volunteers, you're coming in to play a good pitcher in Quesada. Take the lessons you learned 2 weeks ago against Arlington, who's second right now in the district. You took those lessons you won, and then you built off it. So if you can continue what you did then, and continue some of the games that you had versus Martin, where you kept them very close, you kept Sam close. If you can do work your way tonight with that, keep it close. See, swing a hot bat, leading off of Jackson Turner. He's seeing the ball well. If 1, 2, 3 can come out and rock Quesada just a little bit and make number 4 and 5 come up and pick up the slack, you can have a chance to get this man off the mound early and try to help your chances going late.
Absolutely. Looks like it's youth night here at Viking Field. I believe it's also youth night over at Arlington High School. That game is also live on the Zap Network. My pops, Doug, and Cameron Wilcox have the broadcast call for that one with John Ethan producing behind the scenes. We're getting ready to also have a student-run broadcast on Saturday as long as the weather holds out. Everybody that has been putting in intern hours here on the Zap Network getting to showcase their skill set on the Saturday matinee between Arlington and Mansfield. So be sure to tune into that game as well.
That's gonna be a good game too. Two teams that are looking to make the playoffs, as Mansfield's always tough, and Arlington's looking to be in the playoffs by then. So it'd be a good game for them to get a practice calling.
National anthem and then first pitch after this. Not sure how well you were able to hear that, but that was the presentation of our nation's colors here at the home of the Vikings. Lamar is going to be clad in their powder blue jerseys this evening. First time I've seen that this young season as far as our coverage goes for them. The Volunteers clad in their black jerseys with black pants and cursive Vols across the chest.
If you like a MLB reference, it is looking like the old school Milwaukee Brewers versus the New York Mets.
Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Lamar Vikings. Over at first base, it's Bouchel. At second base, it's Shryock. Carpenter is at third base. Owings is at short. Emmons is in left. Thompson is in center. Brook is in right. Brock Jackson is behind the plate. And on the mound, his battery mate is the University of Pennsylvania commit, Colton Quesada. Starting lineup for the Volunteers, leading off and playing shortstop, number 5, Jackson Turner. Batting second and playing left field, number 3, Micah Couch. Batting third at third, number 11, Christian Uribe. The cleanup hitter, got a couple of big hits in Friday's game, Roman Ortega playing first base. Adam Fiorentino is the DH tonight. He's DHing for the center fielder, Isaiah Piper. He'll bat fifth. He'll be followed by the right fielder, number 23, Darian Brown. Andrew Vega will bat for himself in the 7th spot, pitching and wearing number 2. The catcher, number 13, Raul Sanchez, bats 8th. And rounding out the order is the second baseman, number 8, Josue Martinez. Thanks again to our friends at Chapman Cornelius for presenting the pregame show. As we get ready to open up this game, we also want to remind you to open up your home to new possibilities with Modern West Windows and Doors, our first pitch presenters this season. Jackson Turner getting ready to lead things off.
Jackson had a good game on Friday. He had 3 walks. On Tuesday, he went 4 for 4 with a triple versus Haltom. So he swung a bat really well last week. But he's the guy that you need to start serving plates up there to get things going for this Bowie Volunteer offense.
Off speeder drops in at exactly 7 p.m. for a called strike. And we are underway here at Lamar High School. Another off speeder bottoms out underneath the swing of Turner, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, you can't chase. Watching Quesada warm up, Jackson had a chance too in the on deck circle, and you gotta keep out for those good changeups.
Well, this is a good time to remind you that this is a very deep backstop here at Lamar High School. Nobody is aboard, obviously, as Turner takes a look at ball 1 here, but if something goes past Brock Jackson, as it just did there with somebody aboard, that could lead to trouble. As it stands, it's a ball in, 2 strikes here, as the righty turns and fires. Swung on and swung through. Jackson Turner is retired. And that's the first strikeout victim for Colton Quesada as he blows that fastball right by him.
And Quesada did a good job there of mixing eye location more than mixing speed. He came out early with a called fastball with a called breaking ball for strike 1. Then the 0-1 was a breaking ball basically in the dirt. Jackson chased after. Then he changed the eye level coming back high. You got to watch for things out of the zone.
Ball 1 is inside to the left fielder, Micah Couch.
Quesada is going to want to make these Volunteers swing. If they're patient like they have been the last 3 or 4 games, they can try to make him work his pitch count and get something hittable.
And that one will drop in a curveball for a called strike to even the count at 1-1. Fans, go ahead and copy that link, hit that share button, send it to your group chat, put it on your social media. Let the folks in your community know that it is baseball time in Texas. It's a good eye there by Couch as he takes a look at ball 2 below the knees. Our vantage point's a unique one, Jot. The folks at home are able to watch it with our video feed, sending a transmission from behind home plate, as that one goes right back into the glove of Quesada. A line out to 1 for out number 2.
That was a good piece of contact there by Couch. He saw a pitch he wanted to get around on. Got around on it. If that ball isn't hit right back to Quesada, it's shooting up the gap for a single. So that was a good piece of hitting there. And he worked the count, too. He didn't come out first pitch swinging. He made Quesada throw a couple balls and worked to a batter's count.
Just really, really good reflexes by the young man, who is also an infielder when he's not on the mound. And Chris Uribe takes a look at ball one for his first look at Quesada.
We have just as good a vantage point as the scout here from Dallas Jesuit sitting right next to our camera.
He's sitting next to our camera, but we're not sitting next to our camera. It's using a transmitter as strike one is issued at the belt there. And we are further down the baseline so that we're not up in the grandstands and obstructing the view of the fans. But we've still got power run from the press box. As Uribe powers this one back up the middle, it's a weird hop for the shortstop, but Owings is able to make the grab and record the putout. So a strikeout, a line out, and a ground out. Bowie goes down in order to start the ball game. We're headed to the bottom of the first. It's the Volunteers nothing and the Vikings coming up to the plate. This is high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe and Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe and Peak can help your home. When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
To the bottom of the first inning we go here, just on the north side of I-30 at the intersection of Lamar and Davis Drive. It's the Lamar Vikings and the Bowie Volunteers. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this District 8-6A ball game with a lot on the line for two teams looking to make a playoff push. Defensively for the Bowie Volunteers, oh, I didn't write down Uribe's name at third base. That's my bad. I'm like, why is my lineup incomplete? Ortega's over at first base. Martinez is at second. Uribe is at third. Turner is at short. Couch is in left. Piper not in the lineup, getting the start in center field. Brown is in right. Behind the plate, it's Raul Sanchez, and on the mound, it's number 2, Andrew Vega. As you mentioned, Jot, threw a no-hitter against Haltom last week. Not necessarily maintaining that expectation game in and game out, but definitely a highlight-worthy point as he gets ready to face the Vikings. Leading off for Lamar, it's the shortstop, Grafton Owings. Vega's first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Carson Brook, and the catcher, Brock Jackson. Quesada's the pitcher tonight. He's batting for himself in the cleanup spot. This one's up in the air and going to go out of play behind the first base dugout that's occupied by the Volunteers. Matt Carpenter, playing third base, will bat fifth. He'll be followed by Connor Bushell, the first baseman tonight. Left fielder Carter Emmons bats seventh. Second baseman Ben Shryock will bat eighth, as ball one is issued at the ankles. And A.J. Thompson, the center fielder, rounds out the order for the Lamar Vikings tonight. Temperatures hovering in the 70s as that one gets chopped foul. Feels a little bit warmer than that with the sun setting behind us, resting on our backs.
Nice and comfortable night over here at Lamar. Nice and comfortable night. Shout out to my cousin. She graduates from Lamar on June 1st. She will be joining the life and workforce, being a high school graduate.
Called strike three on the corner. Owings disagrees, but Vega with the placement to record out number one.
Vega graduated there and got a strikeout out of it. way of elevating that speed and getting a called strike. Owens didn't know what to expect. And this is going to be similar to how when they played Martin a few weeks ago before the Arlington series and I lost my voice, Vega had a very good outing. It doesn't look like it because they ended up dropping that game, but he went 4 innings strong. He gave up 4 hits, but the defense behind him didn't help with an error that came in to help 2 run score and Martin to take the lead. So he needs a good help from his defense tonight against a good Lamar team.
Baseball's one of those games where you could have one player who is completely on it, but if one person makes one mistake, it could derail the entire team's momentum. Brooke puts a charge in this one to center field, and charging up to make the grab. Was that Couch or was that Piper?
That was Couch. Piper had the duck under the couch.
So Piper ducks, Couch records the F7, and it's 2 up, 2 down for the Vikings.
Yeah, Piper looked like he was going to lose it, and the hat came flying off. Couch said, "I got this comfortably." See how I did that? Comfortable couch.
There
Caught
you
it
go.
comfortably. Glove, nice and easy.
Nice and cushy catch.
Nice and cushy catch for out number 2. Don't ask me to say that twice.
Brock Jackson digs into the batter's box with 2 outs now, and he'll swing at the first pitch he sees and send it into the practice field behind the ballpark here.
I'm quite disappointed that Brock Jackson's walk-up song isn't a. I don't know if you'd get this because it's a wrestling thing, but to the wrestler named Brock Lesnar, when he introduces, it's Brock Lesnar. I'm surprised it's not a Brock Jackson. That's just a wrestling fan of me with WrestleMania being 4 days away.
Fastball is too high above the Vikings lettering there. It's a rather traditional PA system here. Our friend Yadi Pagan would probably get that kind of reference over at the ballpark at Bowie, but there are still some, I guess, old school announcers in certain ballparks, and they keep it classic here at Lamar.
I just figured that maybe. I mean, he might have been a wrestling fan, Brock Jackson. You never know. Just the wrestling fan in me kicked in there.
That'll be a called strike 2. Jackson disagrees with it, but Vega able to get the placement he was looking for. And he's got the deuces wild at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
See if he comes outside here and make Jackson swing. Jackson sat there with the bat on his shoulders the previous 2 pitches. He gets something to chase here, he can get the out.
He does chase, and he does send it foul. Keeps the at-bat alive.
Everything happened there. Chase and out, but it's out the other way.
Went out of play instead of out into the glove of Darian Brown. Play is signaled here. And another 2-2. He's going to go too far inside, and Jackson will represent the first base runner of the evening for either team as he gets aboard on a hit by pitch.
I'm going to just throw this out there now, Zach. I'm going to apologize for all the hit by pitches we see tonight. Last week, we saw 11 hit by pitches in the Haltom Bowie game.
One game.
In one game, 11 hit by pitches. 10 of those were from Haltom players alone, as we have a pinch runner for Jackson.
This is number 5, Preston White, running at first base now.
It seems like I average 2 or 3 hit by pitches a game. Abe Alvarado's safe tonight. I'm not calling Arlington, so he's not worried about getting hit.
We'll have to ask my pops, Doug, if that ends up being a thing. As this one is first pitch swinging, headed to left field, and it is gone. Colton Quesada helps his own cause as Vega put that in exactly the right place for his swing. See if the instant replay feature works for us here tonight as Quesada is seen rounding the bases. And it is 2-0 Lamar advantage.
Yeah, he laid that out where Quesada. Vega paid for it there. He had a chance to get himself out the inning before the hit by pitch, but it just kind of spiraled on him there. Threw a pitch right up the middle for Quesada to blast out. 345 down left center.
This one's going to go foul down that left side. Carpenter sending it towards his third base counterpart. Yeah, we only see 345 to the left and right center field corners. I don't see anything down the lines here at Lamar High School, as Vega issues a little bit of chin music up there to bring the count to 1-1 on Carpenter.
If you're Vega, you need to throw something that he can hit to the dirt to get yourself out of this inning. You don't want to expand it anymore.
In play, Uribe pumps and fires for the third out. But not before Quesada helps his own cause with a home run over the left field fence. We're through 1. Lamar is up by 2. Back with more high school baseball on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing after this. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Back here to Lamar High School, where we're going to go to the top of the second inning. The Volunteers trail 2-0 to the Lamar Vikings, and this is time to let you know about our second inning sponsors. They are Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need cast iron replacement specialist at 817-807-7069. Serving the Arlington area for over 16 years. Pipe and Peak Plumbing, they are our second inning sponsors. As we're going to see the 4-5-6 guys for the Volunteers, leading off Ramon Ortega, who puts a jolt into that one. First pitch swinging, and it is going to be a first pitch out, as that's going to fly out to right field for the F9. Behind Ortega is going to be Fiorentino. The batting third, Darian Brown. Ortega had 2 home runs last week versus Haltom on Friday. I didn't get a chance to see those from our position in the box, but I got a chance to see my first one of the season.
You actually
ironically for the other team.
You watched that one leave the yard.
As Fiorentino is going to step into this batter's box, take on Quesada, hit that home run. And Fiorentino's first pitch swinging out a good breaking ball, 0-1.
This game is still very, very young. You cannot let one swing of the bat dictate how you approach the rest of the ball game.
The 0-1 pitch from Quesada is going to run inside. It sounded like it got him, but it didn't. 1-1. Yeah, it's a very young game, but Quesada did a good job of helping his own cause there with a 2-run shot. Now he's on the mound with a 2-0 lead as the 1-0 is swung on ugly in the dirt, 1-2. And it looks like now the Volunteers are just chasing early on breaking balls out and away. 1-2 count to Fiorentino, 1 out. Darian Brown on deck as Fiorentino's going to call time. Worse from the umpire. Teachable moment here, as we are at a high school. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strikeout number 2. Two away here in the top of the second. And Darian Brown, the speedy right fielder who got things started for the Volunteers last week in both games versus Haltom. He has a chance to try to get things started now with 2 away, taking on the fiery Quesada on the mound.
I mentioned during some of our broadcasts last week that Quesada is just missing the letters LLA for his name to be Quesadilla.
As we see a fancy Army helicopter flying over our head. I think Brown might have been distracted by that as he lets the first pitch go by and for strike 1.
It's easy to be distracted by something like that.
What is that?
That is not something you see every day.
The 0-1.
Right over our ballpark.
The 0-1. I think we're all distracted because the Brown looked down.
Brown looked up.
The umpire looked up. Quesada missed there on the 0-1, so now it's a 1-1 count. The umpire looked up with us. The 1-1. The ball swung on, hit foul, out of play over the Viking dugout.
Interestingly enough, when we went down to Corpus Christi for the tournament back in February, there was a rally for somebody running for state senate, I believe, in the Corpus Christi area. And President Trump flew down in Air Force One to go to that rally and endorse that candidate. And Air Force One actually flew over our heads at Tuloso Medway Ballpark. And that was an interesting experience as well.
As that ball is going to fly away from Quesada to make it 3-2. 3-2 count. Brown looking to get on base here with 2 outs. Yeah, I've never seen Air Force One fly over my head. It'd be nice though, but I wouldn't know how to react to that. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Darian Brown, the right fielder. As the 3-2 is going to run inside.
Called strike three.
Called strike 3. No movement from the umpire.
That off speeder
is getting to
got
the
him.
Volunteers. Up 3 down here for the Volunteers. They're going to come out, play defense on the other side of this break. This is Volunteer Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back here at Lamar High School, that last commercial got me thinking. I actually went to Taco Express today for lunch and posted a picture of the tacos I got for Taco Tuesday on my story. So go follow me at Zach the Voice, Z-A-C-H the Voice. I don't just do advertisements for these people. I go and practice what I preach. So go have yourself some tacos for hashtag Taco Tuesday, the official taqueria of the Zap Network. Had me some chicken and some steak.
Ooh. Speaking of steak, my wife is texting me about food.
What are we going to have for dinner? Well, Taco Express is open till 10.
Taco Express is open until 10. As Vegas, first pitch swinging here from the Vikings, Bouchel is going to be foul. Bouchel, 6, 7, 8 guys up to bat for the Vikings. Bouchel is a very common name that I know very well. Eric was my coach back 15 years ago, I believe, as a freshman at Arlington. And we've got a chance to see his sons. We got a chance to see Steve's sons. From Shane, now we get to see Connor. And Bouchel is a very common name in all these parks in baseball and football. As the 0-1 is swung on, strike 2 as it's hit foul.
Very, very common name. Very well-known name in the city of Arlington.
Behind Connor Bouchel will be Carter Emmons, and then batting third, Ben Shryock, the second baseman. Vega with the 0-2 count advantage, 0-2 advantage on Bouchel. The 0-2 looked at, but high at the letters for strike 1.
Yeah, and that's the right pitch in that circumstance. You want to give him something that's big and juicy, make him want to offer at it. It's a good job by Bouchel laying off of it.
Big and juicy tacos, a big and juicy pitch here. 1-2, that ball is hit high.
I got
Bouchel
it.
wanted it, and it is over our head foul.
Headed to the exercise equipment that's about 20 feet behind the first base dugout. Really made him reach for that. That was almost a golf swing more than a bat swing.
I think I found what to do during the 4th inning stretch later on, is to go hit the bags behind me and relive my offensive line days. 1-2 count to Bouchel. That ball is going to be hit back up the middle. Turner at short, he's going to get it, field over the first to Ortega for out number 1. So a good way to settle down after giving up the 2-run homer in the bottom of the 1st.
I was about to say the 5th. Goodness.
Yes.
This game has just flown by.
I learned last week after the rain, because of the rain delay with you, I was like, man, we are 30 minutes ahead in time, and we're 3 innings ahead.
Yeah. See, the storm cell was coming up from Kennedale, and we had one little lightning bolt that was within the distance parameters of Arlington High Field, but you guys were up in Haltom. So that storm cell blew up and then it blew out towards Weatherford and never made it up to you guys.
Speaking of lightning bolts here, Carter Emmons is going to take his first hack to Andrew Vega as that ball is hit over the net for strike one. Yeah, we didn't see any lightning. We had some rain, though, late in the game, in the sixth inning, when Ortega hits the shot to basically put the nail in the coffin of the Buffaloes. As the 0-1 is swung on and missed, strike two. Good 0-1 pitch there from Vega.
It's a good off speeder that drops out from underneath the swing.
Vega's settling down here, much like he did in the first inning. Now, the thing is, he has to get himself out of the inning. The 0-2. High at the letters. 0-1, 1 and 2. Ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Vikings still lead 2-0. As the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. Take a big hat and come up empty there for Carter Emmons. That's 2 away.
And again, really good placement. We were talking during the pregame show. Vega is a placement pitcher, and he placed that one exactly where it needed to be, and he's got out number 2.
As Ben Shryock is coming up listening to I Did It My Way. Very interesting walk-up song.
I don't think I've ever heard that as a walk-up song before.
As the first pitch he sees is Vega's way for strike 1 looked at. As the 0-1, that's ball's we hit back up to Vega at second. Martinez at second is going to get over to Ortega at first for out number 3. So a 3 up, 3 down inning for Vega. Settle down. Now we're going to go to the top of the third with the Volunteers trailing 2-0. But they have a chance to make a dent into it. Coming back on the other side of this break, this is Bowie Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more.
Back to the third inning we go, up to the third inning we go, and our third innings will be brought to you by our third inning sponsors, Field Ops. They do more than just field markings, they also do commercial landscaping. So find out all John Kling can do by calling 817-908-2194. Field Ops, sponsoring all third innings for Zach Arnold Productions this season. With just a few games left in the regular season, we thank all of our sponsors. Fans, make sure you like, subscribe too. We're trying to get to 1,000. We were hoping to get there by the end of baseball season. We're closing in on it. If not, we will be there for sure at the start of the fall when football hits. But 1,000 does a lot. As Quesada's first pitch to Vega, the pitchers, a called strike. It's going to be the 7-8-9 batters for the Volunteers. Vega, Sanchez, and Martinez, 7-8-9. So we have a little pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here to start the third inning. 0-1 from Quesada, swung on, missed. Big swing on that from Vega. Comes up empty, 0-2.
Yeah, you're talking about big numbers, Judd. I've got a big number for you at the other side of this pitch.
As that is back into the numbers of Quesada. It's going to be a tough throw. He's going to have to eat it at short. So Vega's going to get there after the ball bounced off Quesada's number 6. So talking about numbers, Quesada got hit right in the number on that line drive, but it's going to go as a single.
Well, and what's funny is Couch hit it in almost the exact same place, but unfortunately Quesada's reflexes not as strong this time as it caroms off of him for an infield single. I heard on a PA announcement during the game against Arlington here last week, Quesada recorded strikeout number 200 of his varsity career last week. So impressive numbers for that young man who's headed to Penn University at the end of this season. Credit where it's due. Congrats, young man. That's a very nice accomplishment.
He will be a Quaker in the Ivy League at the University of Penn.
There's so many jokes that could be made, but I'm not going to.
As Ivy League education gets you very far. Sanchez is going to drop the ball. Good bunt. He's going to Vega's going to get there safely at second. Sanchez is going to be out on the sacrifice bunt. The third baseman for Lamar was looking for it. Carpenter, he got up there. He was already down the line by the time the ball dropped down. But one away now. He did a little small ball to get a runner in scoring position.
Vega got a courtesy runner to come in for him. This is number 4, Juan Mendez, who got moved over to second base. So Mendez, the first volunteer in scoring position, with one out here now.
And now this is where you need the lineup to do something for you. With a runner on second, you're trailing 2-0. Your pitcher has done maybe not as much as the other pitcher has when it comes to helping his own cause, but he did get on base. So now you have a chance to try to build on that to cut into this 2-0 lead. Now you have Martinez. Jose Martinez come up to bat. He went 0 for 2 on Friday, but he got on base with 2 hit by pitches. 2 of 11 that night. As the first pitch he sees is at chin level. Ball 1. Little Shawn Michaels sweet chin music there. Sorry, WrestleMania is this weekend. I believe I'm in WrestleMania mode. A lot of wrestling references, Zach. Apologize. The 1-0. Good comeback pitch on the 1-0. Get called strike 1.
See, what's funny is you and my best friend Mondo would have plenty to talk about because he attends a lot of wrestling events. He went out to one in New Orleans either this year or the year before. So he really, really enjoys those. I watched a ladder match with him at one point, and it was fun. It was chaotic. It's just for whatever reason it's not my thing.
Yeah, you have to be kind of prone to it. As you know, I did a little wrestling a couple years ago and won me a heavyweight title out there in
I remember
Burleson.
that.
So it's just something in the nature. As we have a 1-2 for Martinez. The 1-2 is going to be short. It's going to bounce into the chest of Jackson. 2-2. Mendez is sitting at second.
Got to take care of runners in scoring position if you want to get back into this ball game.
Jackson Turner in the on-deck circle looking to make up for the leadoff strikeouts back in the first inning. The runner on second and only one away. As Quesada's going to step off, try to get the runner back safely.
Little bit of chattering coming out of that first base dugout finally as Bowie's got something to chat about.
Yeah, and Quesada's not feeling a little comfortable there. It's something he doesn't want to hear, doesn't like, but it's getting to him. It's affecting him here with a 2-2 count. As Martinez is going to step back into the batter's box. He needs to get something going here. Martinez does. If you can get on base with a runner on second, you have Big Jacks behind you as that's foul tipped back into the helmet of Brock Jackson. I'm just going to come out and hand Quesada a new ball. Give him a little speech too, coaching moment.
I think it's also to give Jackson a little bit of time to recover from that ball going off of his mask. It's part of the gamesmanship that goes on between official and catcher. There's a little bit of a bond, a little bit of a mutual respect that goes on behind the plate there, and so you do those little in-between moments, the unwritten rules of baseball, in order to help these young men recover from some of the weird or chaotic moments that can happen during a game.
Mendez on second, the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 4th strikeout of the night so far for Quesada. 2 away for the Volunteers with a runner on second. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Jackson Turner. It's 0 for 1 on the night. He struck out to start the game off for the Volunteers. And I learned, Zach, I want to start carrying one of the brushes that the umpires do so I can brush my kitchen table off.
Oh,
when I walk in, I can sit down and brush the seat right before I get ready to eat.
Or get all the crumbs off after you're done eating.
After my daughter gets done eating, I need one of those. As that first pitch is going to be swung on. Shortstop's going to get under it. He's going to watch it into the glove for a quick out number 3. First pitch swinging there, Jackson was to go down. Volunteers strand 1. Going to the bottom of the third, they trail 2-0. We'll step aside. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe and Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
As we're back here to Lamar High School, score update from right around the corner, probably 5 minutes away in the car. The Arlington Colts lead 1-0 over the Grand Prairie Gophers in the bottom of the second with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The Colts are batting here, trying to extend that 1-0 lead. They are looking to potentially lock in a playoff spot with a win and a little bit of help, or if they don't get the extra help they need, Friday's game will definitely be a winning in for the Colts.
Yeah, they're looking to make it into the postseason one way or the other by the end of this week. Both of these teams will need help from this series and their series next week in order to secure a playoff opportunity. And as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we're getting scouts from other districts, including a scout from the Jesuit Rangers, here to take a look at who a potential first-round opponent might be.
As A.J. Thompson's going to step in the batter's box, the center fielder for the Vikings, the 9-1-2 hitters up to bat. They're sitting in the bottom of the third as Thompson's going to look at a called strike one. And Zach, one interesting note for you. You've had the privilege of every year that you've been calling Arlington High to go watch them play playoff baseball.
Yes, I have. Ever since we started doing this in the COVID year, their season got shut down, so they didn't have playoffs then. But every year since then, from 2021 till now, Arlington has been a postseason-bound team. That is the epitome of consistency under Coach Womack. Meanwhile, here at Bowie High School, there's been a resurgence in baseball. They're not sitting towards the bottom of the district standings week in and week out. They're fighting for the playoffs late in the season. And that's all you can ask of anybody. Coach Johnson has really, really worked a lot of magic in his few years here at the helm in order to put Bowie in the playoffs last year for the first time in over a decade, and to have them knocking on the doorstep in game situations like tonight.
As Vega was knocking on the doorstep there, looking for a strikeout, but he doesn't get the call. Now the count has run full to the center fielder, A.J. Thompson, with the top of the lineup right behind him. Vega part of this team last season. A lot of these players were that made the playoffs. The 3-2 swung on and hit foul underneath the legs.
Just barely.
It looked like it stayed in play, but I guess they called it just a foul.
Just barely got a piece of it. Keeps the at-bat alive for a little bit.
A lot of players returning from this team last year that made the playoffs. Jackson Turner, Christian Uribe, and Roman Ortega. Those that were most notable from the run last season. As the 3-2 is going to send Thompson on to first base with a ball four walk. Second walk of the night surrendered by Vega.
When you get 2 strikes on somebody, it's really frustrating to not be able to finish it off. Hopefully nothing comes of it as we go to the top of the order in Grafton Owings.
Oh, he struck out to start the game as well. So both leadoff hitters for their respective teams struck out to start the first inning as Owens gets a high called ball one. Second walk surrendered by Vega. The first one was right before the 2-run home run by Quesada. As the runner's going to take off to second, Sanchez is going to get it in time. That is going to be a out by Jackson Turner.
See if we're able to get that one on the instant replay there. As runner is off and going. Sanchez with a good pop, a good throw to Turner, and a good put out for an out number 1 here.
Sanchez has a very underrated arm. Very accurate though there as that ball swung out and missed there by Owings. 1-2. Yeah, Sanchez has a very underrated arm back there behind the plate. Last season we got comfortable seeing De Leon. Sanchez has done a good job as the new catcher this season for the Volunteers, not having a lot of runners getting on him. As the 1-2 sends Owings back to do a little dance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out after that caught stealing runner. The 2-2 from Vega. That's not going to make the full 60 feet there. It's going to come up short, 3-2. And much like Thompson, Owings is sitting there looking at a 3-2 count. Vega's already given up 2 walks today. But the part of the lineup behind Owings you don't want to have a runner on for. The 3-2, that ball's going to be hit high. It's going to stay in play. Brown's going to call for it. Nope, it's going to go to Martinez at second for out number 2. Number 2. 2 away. Carson Beck, the number 2. Speaking of number 2s, a lot of number 2s. Carson Beck, the number 2 hitter in the Vikings lineup. Carson Brooks. Did I say Carson Beck?
You said Beck.
Carson Beck. Sorry, football in my mind. Carson Beck, the quarterback from Miami.
He's also
going
batting for the
draft.
Lamar Vikings.
As the draft is next week, and I felt the draft after that swing and miss there by Carson Brook. The NFL draft is next week, I believe. Beck should be on his way drafted somewhere. I was going to say quick 0-2, but doesn't get the call there.
Does
1-1.
not get it.
1-1. 2 away. And the bottom of the second, the Volunteers still trail 2-0. As the 2-1. 2-1 misses again. As the 1-2 misses again, 2-1.
We're in the 3rd inning, dude.
What did I say?
You said 2nd.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. I'm sorry. That ball's going to be hit to third. Uribe. It's going to get up and fire quickly.
End of the 3rd.
End of the 3rd. Volunteers trail 2-0. We're back for the 4th. After this is Volunteer Baseball, presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Back here to Lamar High School, going to the top of the 4th inning.
4th inning.
I got that inning right. We were in the 4th inning. I apologize for thinking of that we were in the 2nd. Either way, top of the 4th inning, and let us tell you about our 4th inning sponsors. They are Trinity Logistics Services. Don't let hauling be a hassle. Trinity has the dumpsters that fit any size project, and they're drop-off and pick-up, so you can focus on cleaning up your house and home and business for a win. Call Chet Soto at 817-693-1302 for more info. Trinity Logistics Services, they need a dumpster big enough to fit the mistakes my brain is making right now as we're in the 4th inning.
I was going to say, maybe we should light a fire in it and just have a dumpster fire of a broadcast, but
whoa,
I'd rather
that would be very disheartening of me.
I would prefer not to, as Micah Couch gets ready to face Colton Quesada for the 2nd time tonight. It's funny because in the 1st inning, you said it was the 5th inning, and then in the 3rd inning, you said it was the 2nd inning. So
look, I live in the upside down world, apparently.
Which baseball game are you a part of tonight,
I've watched
sir?
too many Star Wars. I've watched technically 4 and 5, which is 1 and 2. As the first pitch to Couch is going to be called strike 1.
You said that you had to stop after Attack of the Clones because your brain was just fried from how awful it was.
The 0-1 to Couch, that's going to be a breaking ball that misses. 1-1, so it's going to be Micah Couch, Christian Uribe, and Ramon Ortega. 2-3-4 up the bat for the Volunteers in the top of the 4th. Yes, Attack of the Clones is not as good as I thought it was back in 02 when it came out. As that ball is going to bounce, hit off the top of Jackson's helmet, and fly back towards the backstop.
Micah.
No, the ball hit off of Jackson's helmet, the catcher.
The catcher, Jackson. I thought you said Jackson like Turner. I was like, hold on.
I'm paying attention now. 2 balls, 1 strike to Micah Couch, the left fielder. As he swings, that ball is hit fast and foul. Loud pop off the dugout here. The bullpen.
You got to be aggressive. And I think that's something that Coach Crowdis was talking about during the inning break is we've got to be up there swinging the bat a little bit more.
2-2 looking to swing the bat here is Couch. And he swings. Good pop over the head of the second baseman. It popped out of his glove. That's going to go as a single. It was a hard hit ball that the second baseman should have made a play on. but it was too hard for him to get a grip on it.
It was hard for him to get a grip, and it was off of the edge of his webbing of his glove, so it may have been a little bit too high. Either that or Shryock just didn't time his jump right, but either way, it dribbles out into right field off of the carom. That's a base hit for Micah Couch to lead off the inning.
Second hit for the Volunteers tonight. Speaking of guys that can get hits in a heartbeat, Christian Uribe batting third. He is up to bat for his second plate appearance of the game. So two superstar players here playing against each other in Quesada and Christian Uribe. As Quesada's first pitch, breaking ball in the zone, strike one.
I mean, from our vantage point here along the first baseline, you can see where the ball lands for these righty hitters, and it was at the lettering on his jersey, but not above it. So it's just on the upper part of the strike zone there.
As Vega's gonna get Couch is gonna get back in time safely, sliding in the first. Quesada with a good quick step throw over to first. Very dangerous. Saw a few of those get picked off last week versus Holtum. 0-1 count to Uribe. Runner on first. Quesada deals. And check swing, called strike either way. Strike two.
I think he did go around.
He's got to, if you're going to go around, you better commit because that ball was in the zone. 0-2 to Uribe. Ortega in the on-deck circle hit 2 home runs on Friday. He needs one tonight. As the runner's going to take off for a second, he is going to get in there. He's not going to get in there safely. He is thrown out. So strike him out, throw him out situation for the Vikings, and that was kind of a missed call there by the ump at second, from our vantage point at least, because Couch looked like he got in as Shryock, the second baseman, had to bring that ball out of the air.
I guess they say Couch wasn't fast enough or he got caught in the tag, but either way, it's a strike him out, throw him out to get rid of the base runner.
Comes Ortega. First pitch he swings at is going to be hit foul. I believe he'll be Friday's starter at the ballpark at Bowie.
He will be.
Coming off a big game with a win over the Buffaloes, and a game that saw him hit 2 home runs, both over the left field wall at Halton. 0-1. That ball swung on and missed, and they're not getting any type of contact on the breaking balls here against Quesada.
Well, the problem is Quesada's breaking balls are going way below the knees, so when you offer at it, you have to adjust your swing in the middle of your follow-through, and it turns into almost a golf swing instead of a bat swing.
The 0-2. But golf swing there again for strike number 3, and Quesada is just making the Volunteers look like they do not know how to swing a bat. 6 strikeouts for Quesada as we're going to the middle of the fourth. This is the 4th inning stretch. Fans, make sure you get up and stretch like I'm about to now. People that sponsor our 4th inning stretch is Modern West Windows and Doors. They invite you to see the difference new windows can make on your home. Visit Modern West Windows to learn more about the sponsors of ZAP's 4th inning stretch. We're going to stretch, we're going to run around, and we'll be right back on the other side of this break.
When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
To the bottom of the 4th inning we go, where the Volunteers need to light a fire under the bats. They trail 2-0, and then the Vikings are going to bring up the 3-4-5 batters. Brock Jackson, the catcher, is batting third. He'll be leading off this inning. Quesada, who hit a 2-run home run over the left field wall, is batting second, and behind him, the third baseman, Matt Carpenter. 3-4-5 batters for the Vikings versus Andrew Vega, who after that home run has settled down Don't let that be an announcer's jinx. Just let it be a promise that Vega's going to continue on with this hot streak that he has on the mound. As Jackson's going to step into the batter's box and look at a ball that doesn't reach home plate, ball one. Volunteers have out hit the Vikings 2-1. The one hit, though, was a two-run homer. The 1-0 misses somewhere, 2-0. 2-0 count to the catcher, Brock Jackson. 2-1, hit foul back into the net behind home plate. 2-1. As Vega has a 2-1 count. Jackson's in the batter's box waiting for that 2-1. He swings. That ball's going to be hit. It is traveling foul. It is going to continue to travel foul out of play. 2-2 count to the catcher, Brock Jackson. With Quesada behind him in the on-deck circle, he's already hit a two-run shot.
I don't want to see history repeat itself. Vega has definitely settled in since that homer that's given up, but you're right. So far, there has not been a whole lot of run support, so the defense really needs a quick inning here so that they can send those bats back to the plate and keep swinging away.
Similar situation here, 3-2 to Jackson. This time he doesn't hit him. Jackson makes contact on the ball. It is going to be out towards center, and Piper is going to get under it for out number one. So we're not going to have a deja vu moment to start the fourth. We're going to get one out. F8.
Looked like it might have gotten him off of the wrists a little bit there. That wasn't the best swing from Jackson, and it ended up going into shallow center field. A good play there by Piper. The wind is kind of swirling a little bit, kind of coming in from right field, so that wasn't an easy play, but routine enough for him to record that first out.
As Quesada looks at a ball high around the letters for ball one. Quesada was first pitch swinging back in the first, saw what he wanted, hit it over the left field wall for the two-run homer, and that's the only hit. That ball's going to be deep out towards center field. Piper's going to give good chase. This one's going to stay in the park. It's going to go all the way to the wall, to the warning track. Piper's going to get it. Quesada's going to round second. He thought about going for third. He's going to stop at second. So Quesada, the only two hits on the game have came from the pitcher, as he's going to get a stand-up double. He'll have a pinch runner, I believe. Nope. He's going to hand his stuff to the coach.
Sometimes he runs for himself, sometimes he gets a courtesy runner issued.
So Quesada, 2 for 2, a home run and a double. Do not want to give up a cycle.
We're nowhere near there yet.
Halfway there. The triple is the hardest thing to get.
He was thinking about it. He rounded second very wide there.
Carpenter is going to come up with Quesada sending at second. The first pitch Carpenter sees is a ball high and inside, ball one. Yeah, that ball, it had a good pop on it, made it all the way out to the wall before Piper could get to it. But Piper's got good enough speed to cut that ball off before Quesada would have been able to get to third. So good thing you have speedy outfielders. As the 1-0 just misses again. Ball two.
And Jackson Turner has spent time out in center field before, so not only do you have a speedy outfielder, but you've got somebody with a really great arm over there at shortstop to be your relay man.
Yeah, that's why you put your best athletes at second, at third and short. And Jackson's one of the better athletes on this team. The 2-0 swung on. That ball's stay in play. It is going to be caught by Ortega, who's going to slide to his right for out number two. So Carpenter's going to fly out to first. 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Connor Bouchel is going to step into the batter's box. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out back in the second to start the second. That ground ball was to hit to the most athletic, speedy man out there in the infield, Jackson Turner. Sada with a good lead at second. Vega is going to get a good call there on the strike one. Bouchel watches the ball come over the plate. So it's a 0-1 count, 2 away. Score still is 2-0 Vikings lead. 2 hits for both teams. As the 0-1 high and inside again, 1-1. Good pop on that pitch though from Vega. They're just not able to get it over the plate. Seeing a lot of things that are chest high here. The Vikings aren't swinging at. Plate discipline is the key. So a 1-1 count to Bouchel. Vega checks on the runner. Fires. Doesn't get the call again. 2-1. These are close pitches that Vegas is not getting the call to. Sada's got a really good lead there at second. Vega's got his eye on him. Martinez standing at second just in case. As the 2-1 called. Strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cameron's favorite word that Zach says, deuces wild.
The deuces are wild.
2-2-2. Runner on second. Michelle's going to take
Wow,
his time.
there's even a runner on base, number 2.
Number 2, 2 hits. Both teams, 2 runs for the Vikings.
And number 2 on the mound.
2s everywhere. Somebody go get a lottery ticket. As Quesada's going to take off, it doesn't matter because Bouchel's going to strike out. That's going to end the bottom of the fourth, and any threat the Vikings had of extending their lead, it is still 2-0 going to the top of the fifth. The Volunteers need to get something going here. On the other side of this break, this is Volunteer Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe and Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe and Peak can help your home.
On to the 5th inning here at the home of the Vikings. Adam Fiorentino going to be leading things off. He'll be followed by Darian Brown and the pitcher, Andrew Vega. Quesada back out for another inning of work for Lamar. Total of 6 strikeouts in 13 batters faced. That means almost half the time that he's facing a batter, he's collecting a strikeout. Not a bad ratio. Only 2 hits allowed. Both of them singles. The Bowie bats need a little bit of run productivity. If it wasn't for that 2-run shot in the bottom of the first by Quesada, we're scoreless and looking at potential extra innings. But instead, Bowie finds themselves in need of a little bit of run production.
Yeah, that 2-run shot was set up by the hit by pitch to on Brock Jackson. Other than that, Vega would have been able to get out the inning. He had he had a full count there. All good after that, but the Volunteers need to get something going.
First pitch to Adam is a called strike 1.
This is the part of the lineup that you have to get going. It's always the struggle that most of the season is 5 through 8, 5 through 9 for the Volunteers. Need to pick this up if you want to make a playoff push.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you've got your score sheet there. They did pretty decently last week against Haltom, and it's been slow going here tonight against Quesada. And he's going to get the call at the knees. Bowie's been swinging at it and not able to connect. Now they lay off of it, and Quesada gets the call.
Interesting, because the previous inning, pitches around the knees for breaking pitches for Vega weren't getting called that same direction, and it kind of extended the inning out against Vega. So to see it kind of go the other direction here for Quesada, it's not a positive thing. If you're the Volunteers, it's really going to hurt you in the end.
That one's a bouncer that'll go past everything and everybody. And it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the leadoff man in the top of the 5th.
And last week versus Haltom, the man on the on-deck circle, Darian Brown, he was the one that got the party started batting 5th and 6th in both of those games. He's the one that kind of helped your team.
Fiorentino not able to find his way aboard, as that is Strikeout number 7 for Quesada, 3 in a row dating back to the last half inning.
And this is where you need Brown, who I was just saying, who did a good job last week. He was 2 for 3 on Tuesday, and then on Friday he also was 2 for 3. He kind of got the party started, moving things around, using his speed and some small ball. And a lot after that, it was a bunch of singles.
This is a tapper, and it's going to be a foot race to first, and Quesada will win it. That's a 1 unassisted to make it 2 outs for the pitcher, Andrew Vega. Sent it right back up the middle during his last at-bat.
First pitch swinging there. That's not going to help you get back into this game.
In most circumstances, I'm not opposed to it if you think that it is the pitch that you really want and that you're really looking for and you really think you can put it where you want to. But a lot of these first pitch swings have been a little bit early or a little bit late. They're not squaring up on those first pitches very well.
Yeah, Quesada's doing a good job of changing the eye level. So some of these first pitches have been more towards the thighs. They're swinging. The Volunteers are swinging down, beating it into the dirt. They're not getting anything elevated.
Fastball too high there, as it's a 1-1 now to Andrew Vega. Time gets called in this pitcher versus pitcher matchup. I see a decent number of folks tuning in on the YouTube stream. If you subscribe to the channel and wait a brief 10 minutes, you can join the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. That one about 5 feet away from the police car that is just outside the ballpark. As it goes out of play into the greenery behind us between the ballpark and the multi-purpose athletic complex.
I don't think the cop in the car noticed.
I don't think he noticed. I don't think he cared.
Didn't care until the window breaks.
My tax dollars pay for that window, so he really doesn't care. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Vega is retired. That's the 8th K for Quesada. And he is in control as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Lamar's 2 runs in the first, still giving them all the edge they need. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Happy Taco Tuesday again, everybody. A reminder to go hit up our friends at Taqueria Taco Express for their 5 tacos and a large agua fresca deal for just $10. I had the strawberry agua fresca today, quite possibly my favorite one that they've got in their lineup. But they've got melon, they've got watermelon, they've got horchata, they've got one that is pineapple, which would kill me, but might be tasty for somebody else. So be sure to go and hit them up on Taco Tuesday. One of the best value meal deals in town, in my opinion.
Wait, are you allergic to pineapple?
I am deathly allergic to pineapple.
Wow, so no Hawaiian food for you then?
No Hawaiian pizza. I haven't had Domino's in 20 years.
Oi.
Because if somebody so much as cuts my pizza and then after cutting a Hawaiian pizza, that's enough to make me sick.
I see. No Hawaiian, no pineapple at all.
No pina coladas. I'm getting ready to take a trip with my wife to Puerto Rico, and they claim to be the originators of the pina colada, and I'm not going to get to try it. As a called strike 1 is issued here to lead off the bottom of the 5th to Carter Emmons, struck out his last time up. He'll foul that one off, and it's quickly 0-2 for Andrew Vega.
You want to speak about originators? We are not that far from Mariano's, the originator of the frozen margarita. came from Arlington, right over there by the ballpark.
And as I understand it, the city of Arlington also originated ballpark nachos.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of inventiveness that takes place here as it's a 1-2 count to the left fielder. Now, I found out the hard way because there was a um, expectation to eat some family dish that was prepared, and the dish had pineapple in it. And at first, I just had some stomach pains, wasn't a big deal, until they just got more and more intense as the night went on. Ended up spending the night in the ER.
Oi.
So after that, I learned my lesson. No pineapple for me. I can go to places like Grimaldi's, because most of the time Grimaldi's does not cook their pizzas with pineapple. Called strike 3, as that one is a little bit of poison for Carter Emmons. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks tonight. Fourth one of the evening for Vega. So yeah, there's a Grimaldi's that's right down the street from where I live right now, and that's one of my favorite places to frequent, just because it's one of the few pizza places I can actually eat safely from. First pitch is a called strike to Ben Shryock. I think I just need to keep talking about pineapple. It's working for Andrew Vega right now, as he's ahead in the count here, 0-1. In play to Turner, and he will turn and fire to Ortega, but it's not in time. Shryock able to leg it out for an infield single.
And that was a bang bang play there. It was very, very close. I thought Stryak was out. Jackson had a very accurate throw, but that ball pushed him back onto the back lip of the infield.
He had to slide over, and I think there was a little bit of arc in his throw. And so it was a bang bang play, and Coach Johnson is asking for an appeal up the first baseline.
We do have a camera, if that would help anybody.
There was a bang bang play at the plate between Arlington and Lamar last week, and we did the replay a couple of times on the throw home as we saw an Arlington base runner slide underneath the tag. And the call will be upheld over at first base. So Shryock will get aboard on what I would just classify as an infield single. He just legged it out and beat the throw over there.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that Jackson did wrong. He had to slide over to his right, but he was deep enough in the infield that it made it a farther throw instead of trying to catch it on the run. So Jackson had just fired it. It was a great throw. Strike, like you said, he beat it out. The first hit that didn't come from Quesada for the Vikings.
Only the third hit of the evening, as they will throw over to first. Yeah, you were mentioning during the commercial break that we just barely hit the 8 o'clock hour, and we're already almost through the fifth inning. It's the fourth inning over at Colt Field. Arlington leads by a score of 4-1 with runners on the corners. Pops Doug and Cameron on the call for that one. Runner goes. Sanchez, the throw, and it gets bobbled by Turner. And it'll be a stolen base for Shryock.
And that ball was on a line, too. Good throw by Sanchez. It looks like he had a chance to catch him. He caught Thompson back in the third with the stolen base on a similar looking throw. But that ball just bounced away on that one hop from Jackson. He wasn't able to get his glove on it. Now, Shryock's in scoring position. First Viking in scoring position since Quesada back in the fourth.
Just below the knees. That looked decent from our vantage point, but the man behind home plate says that is ball 2 to A.J. Thompson. Ball 1 was issued on the stolen base attempt.
Yeah, and this is like I was saying earlier for Vega. He's not getting some of the calls around the knees that the Vikings are. Quesada is a lot of called strikes on that breaking pitch that's just around the knees. Vega's not getting that same luxury. Blue's been consistent, but not all the way when it comes to the lower part of the strike zone, as he has been for Quesada on the mound.
Ball 3, as that one is above the blue Vikings lettering. Navy blue Vikings across the chest on the powder blue jersey with yellow piping. It's a pretty clean look for Lamar.
Very old school Milwaukee Brewer-esque. Or Gun Gator-esque.
Gun Gators. That's a deep cut.
I was a Gun Gator long ago. But we were navy blue. My dad, when he was a Gun Gator back in sometime in the 80s, he wore powder blue. I always liked the powder blue uniforms too.
When it's appropriate. I don't think the St. Louis Cardinals should have powder blue uniforms, but that's just me.
But I think the Texans should wear the Titans, I guess now because they own the ownership of it, should wear powder blue like the Oilers all the time.
Well, the Houston Cougars have basically given a certain middle index, a middle digit to the Titans organization because they have made their powder blue jerseys a permanent fixture over at UH now, in spite of the requests / demands to make some alterations. those requests have been denied. Ball 4 is issued to Thompson here. And Coach Johnson will come out and have a chat with his pitcher and his infield. Vega has pitched really well tonight. Aside from the one pitch that was grooved in Colton Quesada's wheelhouse, none of the other base hits have been for any damage. This single has not done anything as of yet, but there's still one out in the inning. And Quesada's double was for naught. So aside from that, I mean, 4 strikeouts, several putouts that have been cleanly made. The defense has backed him up well with no errors committed. It's just a unfortunate situation that he's finding himself, quote unquote, struggling. Although that isn't really the word I would use.
It's some of it is just the inability to get the Vikings to swing at pitches that we think are in the strike zone or close enough to it. So it makes you have to work harder for Vega on the mound. He's not getting some of the similar calls that Quesada has gotten on the strike zone. Not saying that they haven't been called strikes. But the Vikings just aren't as swinging at as many pitches low and away as the Volunteers are. So it makes Vega's night harder. It was very similar to Martin a few weeks ago, where Vega had pitched a great game, but the bats of the Warriors just weren't swinging. So it makes pitches like that we would think would be a strike because it's within the chest area to swing. They're not swinging. They're just keeping the bats on the shoulders, making Vega work.
So 1-0 here to the top of the order in Grafton Owings. He's going to loft this one to center field. Piper giving chase, and he'll make the grab. Runner is tagging from second. The throw to third. The tag, and it is in time.
Beautiful throw. No hopped at all. Piper with the cannon.
Just
Center
makes
field.
the grab, makes the throw. Uribe makes the tag, and that ends the inning. The threat is thwarted on the great play out in center by Piper, and it's still just a 2-run advantage as we head to the 6th. Stick around, folks. We've got an exciting finish to this district game here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more. Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
On to the 6th inning we go. A fantastic play from Isaiah Piper, getting the catch and doesn't even need a hop. Puts it right into the glove of Christian Uribe. Had to be a perfect throw, and it was.
It was a perfect throw that the runner was out by 4 or 5 steps. That Piper didn't have to bounce it or anything. It was just on a rope to Uribe. Uribe just has to slap the glove down. The runner knew he was out. There was nothing he was going to do. Great Torrey Hunter-esque throw from Isaiah Piper out there in center field.
It'll be Raul Sanchez leading things off. He laid down a great sacrifice bunt in his last plate appearance. Does not have a base runner to sacrifice here. So he will be swinging away against Colton Quesada. Very wide stance in that strike zone as he checks his swing too far for a swinging strike one.
Now the Volunteers bats have to be aggressive. They're going to have to swing at everything. They haven't gotten anything except for 2 hits, both singles. They need something to get Quesada going out of this game.
He squares up for a bunt to try to catch the defense unawares. Cannot pull back on something that should have been a called ball, and now finds himself in a hole 0-2.
You need to chase Quesada out of this game one way or another to give your team a chance. That means that you have to get hits between the 8, 9, and 1 batters to work your way around to 2, 3, and 4. You don't want to leave it up to the 7th inning.
Sanchez gonna pop this one to center field, and the grab is gonna be made out there by Thompson. What a catch, scooping it off of the ground for out number 1.
And that was a good swing of the bat there by Sanchez. Thompson just had good range out in center field to track it all the way into the glove, but I thought it had a chance to bloop in front of him.
That'll take us to Josue Martinez, struck out his last time up.
Both center fielders for both teams, back-to-back good plays. Thompson had a good play there, tracking that ball on Sanchez. But before that, Piper with just a cannon throw to end the bottom of the 5th.
Fans, join the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from or who you're tuning in for. We'll try to give you a shout out on the broadcast before the game is over as Martinez looks at ball number 1 here. Foul that one straight back into the backstop.
And Quesada doesn't throw a lot of curves and sliders. It's all fastballs and changeup. He's just mixing the speed, mixing eye level, and making the Volunteers guess. They have to see it coming out of the hand where it's going to be.
He'll lay off of that one as some dirt gets kicked up in the home plate circle. And it's 2-1 with 1 out.
Martinez last week was batting in the two hole, ended up getting 2 hit-by pitches to get him on base in the win versus Haltom.
Fastball, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Sada turns and fires. And that is going to be a ball. Brock Jackson was ready to throw it around the horn, but the umpire says 1 more pitch as we've got a countdown on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3, 2, 1.
And Jackson heard his own calls there. He jumped up too fast instead of trying to frame it to get himself a better call.
And this is a really good sign, a patient at bat by Josue Martinez to find his way aboard on the first walk of the night issued by Colton Quesada. And that'll put a man aboard for the top of the order in Jackson Turner.
Yeah, this is where you need bats to get going. Jackson had a good week last week. 4 for 4 Tuesday. On Friday, he reached base 3 times. You need to get something going here with the 1 and 2 while you have 1 out and a runner on to tie this game up.
And Turner was going for the fences on that one. Can't connect as it bottoms out underneath his swing. It's strike 1.
I don't think that was coherent at all.
Probably wasn't meant to be. This is a hit and run that gets hit straight into the Bowie dugout. Martinez will have to return to first, and Turner will have to defend the plate 0-2. Quesada pitching out of the stretch. Will throw over to first base to check on Martinez, and he's back in time.
And it's weird. Martinez doesn't really have a lead at first with the first baseman holding the bag. Jackson last week had pushed a triple to right field. If he can try to push something in that gap between first and second with the first baseman holding the bag.
Ooh, way too high as the catcher Jackson has to jump out of his crouch as Jackson Turner takes a look at ball one.
The infield's playing very, very deep in the on the infield right now. Try to get a double play.
Big swing and a miss as the high heater goes above the bat of Jackson Turner. And that is the 9th K of the night for Quesada.
Yeah, you got to have something here from Couch with 2 outs. He's one of only 2 hits for your whole team. One of them came from Couch back in the 4th. You need something to get going with 2 outs. You can't wait till the top of the 7th.
First pitch is a called strike one, painting the outside corner is Quesada. Buchel is covering the runner, Martinez, over at first. This one's up in the air, playable for the second baseman. Shryock calls everybody off and collects the F4 for out number 3. Couch just got too far underneath that one, and the runner is left stranded as Quesada continues to pitch a shutout when the Vikings need it most. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. His one swing of the bat still proving the distance 6 innings later. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this.
Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. Colton Quesada helping his own cause way back in the 1st inning, and he'll be guaranteed an at-bat here as Carson Brook will be leading things off. Brock Jackson will be after him, and then in the hole is the cleanup hitter, who is 2 for 2 on the evening. The only one who's really been productive against Andrew Vega. He's only given up 3 hits the entire game, so it's a 1-hitter if you don't count Quesada, with 4 strikeouts. Just hasn't gotten the support that he's needed on the offensive end.
And that has been the trend for multiple games we've seen from Vega. We started the season off at Grand Prairie. It was a 5-1 game at Grand Prairie, and it took till later in the game for the Volunteers to get on the scoreboard to help out Vega. Versus Martin was the same way. It was a game that Vega was in. It was 2-0. It wasn't until late in the game that the bats came alive as Vega got worn down. And it's just been the trend all year. The Tuesday games have been hard for the Volunteers getting things going.
Beautiful off-speeder there to get Brooks swinging at it, and he's ahead in the count now. 0-2 is Vega. Brook is 0-for-2 tonight with a fly out and a ground out to third. And we'll put another tally mark up there for Vega as he collects strike 3. The triple crown of putouts as Brook is retired on a fly out, ground out, and a strikeout now to take us to the catcher, Brock Jackson. Jackson officially 0-for-1 after he was hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning and then flew out to center his last time up. First pitch swinging, headed for center field. And the catch is going to be made out there as Piper continues to impress. Another fly out to center after that's what Jackson did his last time up. And there's 2 away now for Quesada.
Yeah, Piper's one of the guys that earlier this season when we got a chance to meet some of the younger players, he's one of the guys that really excited me for this team. Great defender. out there in center field, good range, and he's showing it tonight.
Off speed, drops into the bucket, and Quesada nods his head in acknowledgement, saying that was good placement. Vega with the 0-1. A little bit low, and it's 1-1. Considering Quesada's 2 for 2 on the evening, and there's 2 outs, and the bases are empty. No. Gets the call there, and maybe that's why I'm just the commentator and not the coach. As it's a ball and 2 strikes now with 2 out. Chopper headed for third. Uribe charging, firing, and making the play for out number 3. Quesada retired for the first time tonight, but Bowie hoping to not be retired just yet as we head to the 7th inning, and the Vikings still ahead by just those 2 runs from the first. Another 3 outs of baseball to go when we come back here on the Zap Network.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
To the top of the 7th inning we go, and it's only 8:25. I'll be home by 9:30 at this rate, unless we can find our way to go to extra innings. Colton Quesada is back out to try to get the complete game shutout, and the young men that will be trying to avoid that will be the third baseman, Christian Uribe, the first baseman, Roman Ortega, and the DH, Adam Fiorentino. 3, 4, 5, heart of the Bowie lineup, facing first pitch swinging, headed for left field. It's carrying, and it's foul.
That ball's out onto the hill out there on Davis. That was 5 feet left of a home run.
A very, very long strike for Christian Uribe, and he'll have to trot back to home plate. Ortega retrieves his bat for him.
If you're Uribe, just rinse and repeat here. See something like that and do it again.
Quesada. Fouled off. Nothing in 2 now for Uribe. Swung on and swung through. Strikeout number 10 on the evening for Colton Quesada. And it'll be up to Roman Ortega to try to extend the game. One can't find the zone as it's a 1-0 count to Ortega. Arlington High looking to try to pull away from Grand Prairie. That game will probably be continuing on the Zap Network after this one goes final. Ortega puts this one in play, headed for foul territory. And it will just go harmlessly foul as the right fielder Brook and the second baseman Shryock both went in that direction to see if they could get a hold of it. They could not. It's a 1-1 now to Ortega with 1 out. Quesada turns in, delivers, and it's a chopper foul. Just have not been able to square up on Quesada's pitches all evening. The 1-2. Chin high, and Ortega lays off of it for ball 2.
That's a good job by Ortega there to lay off. Quesada wanted the chase there. He wasn't going to get it. Now look for something low with his maybe off speed to try to get Ortega to swing over it.
Ortega does swing at it, and he does get a piece of it, and he keeps the at-bat alive.
As
Little Mortal Kombat?
yeah, little
Mortal Kombat sound effect.
somebody's here. It wasn't Yachty though. I know that much. Yachty would have gave us a Mario effect.
2-2. Chopper to third. And the play is made. Carpenter to Buchel. 5-3. And it'll be up to Adam Fiorentino to try to extend the ball game. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. It'll be somewhat abbreviated so that we can make sure that we are good guests and get packed up and out of here at a decent time. After a playing career at Arlington High School, earning MVP and conference champion honors at TCU and UTA, John Sr. switched to roofing in 1982 and never looked back. And the reverse announcer's jinx maybe works as Fiorentino gets a single up the middle, his first base hit of the night. Extends the game for one more at bat to Darian Brown.
What's the old expression? Don't go swiftly into that good night. And Fiorentino's just going to try to extend it by one more batter here. Brown was one of the guys last week, big unsung heroes here for the Volunteers in the sweep versus Haltom. See if he can try to extend this a little bit longer.
First pitch, fastball, called strike 1. After his football career, John Sr. switched to roofing in 1982 and never looked back. So the next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. Brown takes a look. Ball 1 there as it's a little bit too low. It's a 1-1 count with 2 outs. And it'll be a 1-2 with 2 outs. Bowie possibly down to their final strike of the game. Quesada looking for his best pitch right here, and Brown will call time at the plate. Quesada's delivery. Chopper, they're going to say that it's fair. No foul, and now it'll roll foul. Hustle by Brown up that baseline, just trying to see if he could find his way aboard.
I was confused for a moment there by the caution sound. They're doing the construction here.
It's the construction at Cravens.
Cravens.
It wasn't a sound effect coming from the press box. That was authentic.
Cravens Field not here for the first time in
Who knows how long.
50-something years. It's been since 77 UTA played here. So it's been at least 50 years. Long time.
Quesada's 1-2 again, swung on, swung through, and that's been the story of the evening. That'll be the story of the night as we officially go final in just 1 hour and 33 minutes here at Lamar High School. Quesada records 11 strikeouts in a complete game shutout and helps his own cause with a 2-run homer. The only 2 runs of the entire ball game, but that's all that Lamar needed tonight.
Yeah, that's all Lamar needed was just that hit from the home run from Quesada. And then the bats for Bowie was just silent. It was reminiscent of how they started the season off earlier. The Volunteers did, not getting any type of production to help out the pitcher Vega on the mound. We've seen it a few times. Grand Prairie and Martin were the ones that come to my mind. And Quesada looked dominant up there. He had 11 strikeouts. The Volunteers only gave up 3 hits, and it was something that if you're Bowie, you just chalk it up until Friday. Say we'll come back Friday and try again differently.
Volunteers drop to 5-6 in district play. Lamar improves to 7-4, keeping pace with the Martin Warriors as we continue to head down the stretch in this playoff hunt. Technically, mathematically, Bowie is not eliminated, but it is going to be an uphill battle as they have to play these Vikings at home on Friday and then play South Grand Prairie next week. Jot, any final thoughts before we call it a night and start packing it up here at Lamar High School?
It's, it's not much you can add a positive for the Volunteers.
Vega played well.
Vega played really well.
Aside from one pitch, everything else, he had 5 strikeouts, which is a very solid outing, and only gave up 3 hits.
Gave him 3 hits. He had the one pitch, and the one pitch was just the next pitch after hitting Brock Jackson, the catcher, on a full count. When Vega had a chance to get out the inning, if he gets out the inning instead of hitting Brock Jackson, the game is completely different at that point.
Yep.
If it continues off the same path, for Vega, it's something that you can hang your hat on for sure. Man, I did a great job against a good team, and the Volunteers out defensively, they did a great job with a big throw from Isaiah Piper, some big plays there. The defense in the infield contained the Vikings from getting anything on the base path. The negative is you only had 3 runners left on base.
Yep.
3 hits, 3 runners left on base. That's not moving the ball around. Last week versus Haltom, small ball moved the ball around continuously. This time, it just showed as a struggle. So you can try to chalk that up for the bats until Friday and come out swinging on at home at the ballpark in Bowie.
You'll be on the call there with my pops, Doug. I'll be over at Grand Prairie for the return game between the Colts and the Gophers, who are currently leading Grand Prairie right now by a score of 6-1 in the 6th inning. If you want to watch that game, it is still going live on the Zap Network's YouTube channel. But I think that's going to do it for us here at Lamar High School. For Chaz Melton, the producer, and for Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, thanking you for tuning in to this Zach Arnold Productions broadcast. Final score in this one, Lamar 2, Bowie 0. We'll see you all again on Friday, but until then, have a great night.